I don't remember who said it,
Yeah.
but somebody told me that your brows are always uneven.
That was Bob the drag
That
queen
was
who said
Bob.
that. I do want to be honest with you. Bob was just recently here. Bob's eyebrows are uneven. Trixie's eyebrows are uneven.
Oh.
So what does that say? You girls with even eyebrows don't have our success.
Okay, so as soon as I start painting my eyebrows wonky, I will win a season of Drag
That's
Race.
it, sister. Welcome to The Pit Stop, the only official recap show for RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 11. I'm your host, Bianca Del Rio, and today we have a very special guest. A queen who some people might call a villain. But that is offensive. I call her a Please welcome Plain Jane!
Hi!
Hey!
Well, listen, honey, if you sign the check and I cash it, you can call me whatever you want.
What I appreciate is someone of your age still taking a check. That's important.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Do you write checks at the grocery store?
Do I write checks at
Yeah.
the grocery store? Are you implying that I work at the grocery store?
No, I'm simply implying that when you go to the grocery store is a form of check,
Oh,
usual form
I
of
see,
payment.
I see,
Because
okay.
now the kids are just tapping with their
Okay.
phones everywhere they go.
I thought you were asking me if I'm like a middle manager at a grocery store.
Well, you
which-
look like one. I've got to say, Plain Jane. It's so brilliant, you know? And I'm like,
Thank you.
why would somebody call themselves Plain? And then I met you.
Oh my God.
Well, before we get into the episode, how are you?
I'm so good, honey. I'm so good. You know, it's my third time here.
Third time here at the pit stop.
Yeah, and third time's the charm.
Third time
Right.
is the, well, I know the other two hosts that
Right.
you've had.
Trixie
Uh-huh.
and Monet.
Mm.
Honey, you went to the Mariah Carey School of Shade. Honey,
I'm
I don't
just
know
saying.
her. I don't know
I'm
her.
just saying. So, I live for this look because I'm looking at her right now. And from the neck up, she's like a retired stripper at a Vegas hotel.
Uh-huh.
But then from the bottom half, she's not giving up on that career.
Checking times at 3 boys. Mwah. I was going for like Zach and Cody's mom.
That's a Disney show, correct?
It is.
Yeah, okay.
After like, you know, sort of a long night of lounge singing at the hotel.
Makes sense.
You know, she put the twins to bed,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going out to the bar and to find some trade, honey, to find Zach and Cody a new dad because those children.
Yeah, they need a father.
They need a father,
They need a
honey,
father
or they're
in
gonna
life.
turn out gay.
What I love is the commitment
Yeah.
to it, and that's important. So look, I'm glad we figured this out.
I wish you would commit to.
Well, I'm gonna be committed pretty soon.
Oh, nice,
As soon
yeah.
as I'm done with this season.
Sooner rather than later. girl,
Well,
'cause
fingers crossed,
Fingers
if you can cross them.
I'm crossing my
I
testicles.
meant, your testicles.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's nice. I thought those were the ones supported in that little bolero.
No, no. I'm gonna do like the girls did in today's improv challenge, and I'm gonna no butt.
Okay. Don't get ahead of ourselves. Look. No. But speaking of no butt, let me ask you a question. Does Corey King rage bait you?
Oh my God, Corey King. That's all she does, girl.
Yeah.
Like, she's a walking rage bait. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? She's walking around looking crazy, looking like a big dude, honey. you
I
know?
just recently met her last season of
Yeah.
Pit Stop. I met her, and she was lovely. I mean, she wouldn't shut up about that lesbian lover she has. and
Yeah.
Thought, speaking in that little young gay slang. I was born in 2000. I don't know what this is. All right, Jane, here we are. We're in bracket 1 of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 11. And out of this bracket, I am curious right now, who would you marry and kill? We've got Morgan, Akira, Dawn, Lucky Stars, Mystique, and Morphe.
A trade that I once had told me that Lucky Stars was cute, so I
Okay.
would kill Lucky.
Okay, all right.
Period, honey. Like, I don't want you looking at Miss Lucky Stars.
But the thing is, I find Lucky to be kind of endearing, and I agree a lot with Lucky. So I've kind of like been impressed by Lucky. And the one that's been bothering me, especially this episode, was Mystique. Yeah, so I'm giving the credit to Lucky. I found Lucky quite interesting.
Well, actually, I love Mystique. She was my favorite this episode.
Okay, well, you're an asshole. Okay, now.
I feel like that was like a little racially charged.
What do you mean? Calling you an asshole?
Yeah. Like, I feel like it's because like I was born like from an asshole, you know what I mean?
You
Like
were
I was,
born from an asshole.
I was, yeah. I was,
well, then
like,
you
shit
should be
out.
flushed. If you were born from someone's ass, that explains those little corn eyes and that green bean smile. That's what I've got to say.
Your vernacular is so.
Can you spell vernacular?
Absolutely.
Hit it.
See, I was trying to S and you, girl. I was trying to yes and you.
Well, let me ask you a much simpler question.
Yeah.
Who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for my sister Morphine.
Okay.
Yeah, what? Do you have an...
No, I'm listening because everybody that sits
I heard
in this
your voice
chair
cracker.
has it. Oh, you think I'm afraid of any of these people? You think I'm afraid to express my opinion? I go, okay.
Girl, I think you're scared.
I'm supposed to be frightened by that? Good luck, bitch. The queens are back into the workroom after Akira's win, and the MVQ point drama has begun. Now, I gotta say, I did not expect Morgan to be a responsible, functioning, kind adult and give her point to Akira. I thought that was kind of shocking, but in fairness, I think Akira did help everybody, and that was very noble of Morgan, and I did not expect that. Were you shocked by that behavior?
I was a little shocked by that behavior, particularly because I don't know if you recall, but on her original All-Star season, Morgan, she was like very vocal about being competitive. You know, her strategy being, I'm gonna send the fiercest competition home.
I see.
I'm in the top, my lipstick, she outright almost said, I'm gonna send Mental Creme home immediately.
Okay.
Which you kind of did inadvertently by, you know, being technically the worst in that top 5 episode, but your track record, you know, kind of was
Turn off her mic. Turn off her mic.
You know, it was surprising for me that she had changed so much from All-Stars 3 to now.
Well, because she's old, and as you get older, you have to get right with Jesus.
You get kinder.
Yeah, well, because you're about to meet your maker.
But that's, I feel like you.
Oh, I'm not afraid of death. No, I'm not afraid of death. But I think that's probably her way of doing it. And probably thinking, looking around the room, in Morgan's defense, she's probably thinking, you know what? I'm not the prettiest, talented, or smartest. Let me try to be kind.
Yeah. So you're on your way to hell, like calling Satan an
No,
asshole.
listen, girl, talking to you is hell, and this is exactly where I am.
I feel like I'm in purgatory.
That burn from your crotch has nothing to do with the devil. That's choices you made, ma'am. But let me ask you this question. Because you're gonna have a long-winded answer anyway, and this gives me time to floss my teeth and scratch my ass. Because you know them, who would you trust more with an alliance, Dawn or Morphine?
You need to scratch your ass, girl. Is that hole infected?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, I think Morphine.
You would trust Morphine because she's your gal pal.
I think I would trust Morphine because she's my gal pal, and also she's more gullible. Do you know what I mean? I feel like with Morphine, you know, all it would take is being like, sister, you know?
Wait, do your plea to the camera. Tell Morphine what you're gonna do. Go ahead.
Sister, let's make an alliance, sister. You look so thin today, by the way. You're so skinny.
The queens are back in the workroom and still chatting about these MVQ points. But what I need to know is why Morgan wore that hat. She's got the hat on, the pashmina wrapped up. She's cold from the waist up, and she's in what? She's down in Palm Beach with those sandals at the bottom. I don't understand what's going on, but God bless you. God bless you.
Okay, Bianca, connoisseur of men's fashion.
Well, I just think it's a weird disposition. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's vacation on the bottom and chilly London day above.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's just trying to distract from what's going on, you know.
Oh,
over here.
yeah, we caught that. Then maybe she should wear a veil. Okay, moving on. Ru shows up to announce this week's Maxi Challenge. It's a shop till you drop dead commercial on the Home Spooky Network. That's right. The queens will be working in pairs to make spooky commercials. Now, where do the queens go wrong when it comes to the improv comedy situation?
Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is really good, you guys.
Oh, wait. This is improvisation.
Oh, this drink is so delicious. You
Yeah.
guys get you one of these. But what was the question? I'm so sorry.
The question is, this season or any season, where do the queens normally go wrong with the improv comedy challenge?
Well, I'm gonna tell you where they went right.
Okay, we're starting with something positive, and it's not just your test results. Go ahead.
Okay, I guess we're just gonna move on from that.
No, I'm asking. Go ahead. Where do they go wrong?
Well, listen, honey, I spent a night with Lady Bunny. That's why they're positive.
Okay, yes.
But they went right with the look. They already look
Yes.
like monsters.
Get that, and then they put on the spooky costumes.
Right, exactly.
So what do you think about Mystique kind of questioning Dawn and Morphine about their pairing? She was all in their business.
Well, yeah, I feel like Mystique is doing a lot of questioning others as opposed to
focusing on herself.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not
busybody.
Really, yeah, it's busybody. It's not really something that Mystique should be worried about. What she should be worried about is not looking a mess.
Well, that, and I just think that it's not so much about being motherly or being the seasoned elder one in the group. I just think it's being a messy bitch.
Yeah.
Like, if you're focusing on what you're focusing on, you shouldn't be worried about them. All right, Plane, it's time for some spooky-ooky commercials on the Home Spooky Network. First up, it's Dawn and Morphine with this buzzkill for shaving, and Hello Flesh nonsense, where she's trying to peddle the meat and the brains and stuff. How do you think Group 1 of Bracket 1 did?
They have a really good chemistry.
I agree.
It's clear that they're playing off of each other.
Yeah.
I feel like there are definitely some like missed moments for sure.
Sure.
But you know, Morphine's visual gags are really paying off for me here.
Yeah, and I think that, I know Michelle had mentioned when she was judging, which is getting a little ahead, but she had mentioned that Morphine was kind of tagging on to Dawn. And I think, yeah, that makes sense because somebody does have to be the driving force. So there's usually the straight man and there's usually the one that's making the jokes.
Yeah.
So I wasn't mad by it. I thought it was a good disposition of the two of them together. I thought they bantered well. Sure, you could always add more, take that, blah, blah. But in the moment, I thought they worked well together.
Yeah.
And when it started, I thought, oh, wow, Dawn is the strong one, but I didn't realize that Morphine had her own product to plug, which I thought she did a good job with.
Exactly. That's my thing. It seemed as though during some moments Dawn was taking over, but then Morphine had her own product, so they kind of had an equal role to play there. I thought this was fairly successful. I totally agree with you.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever shaved your coconuts?
My coconuts?
Yeah.
Yes.
Elephantitis of your nutsack. Have you ever shaved them?
I have, but I'm honestly still as like an adult man.
Yeah.
Because I am a
people
man.
have eyes. People have eyes.
I'm a young man.
They can see this.
They didn't know. They didn't know.
Sure, yeah.
I was fooling them. I was tricking them.
Okay, yes, as a man.
You know, I'm still scared to shave down there sometimes because like I nick myself. Because my balls are very wrinkly.
Oh.
Like chewed up bubble gum.
Have you thought about, there's people that get that saline put in their ball sack. Have you seen it? Where you're all potatoes and little meat.
It's like a water balloon.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah. Maybe I should try that.
It'd be a bitch to tuck. You'd have to wear peplums all the time.
But I feel like you could like probably use it as like a weapon or something. Like swing it around and...
Swing it around like just hit somebody in the head.
Yeah,
totally.
yeah.
Have you seen the woman that actually takes her tit and crushes beer cans?
Oh my God, I have. They should have done that bit for the show. Morphine should have done that.
Don't give them any ideas. Don't give them any ideas. Don't give them. Next, we have Lucky Stars and Mystique with this protein powder and the body bags that were actually made out of bodies. What do you think of this pair?
The pair of jugs
The pair of jugs are great.
The pair of jugs looks great, but these two aren't really doing it for me at all.
And the weird thing is, of course, Lucky Stars is supposed to be a vampire, so the judges had issues with her look. I think it's fine. It's kind of like a Bram Stoker's Dracula kind of look, one of those things. But I must say, and this is me being nice, Mystique, this is probably the best dress and the best look that you've had. I live for this white dress. I think it's a great look on her. It's probably the most polished thing that she's worn in the competition thus far.
Yeah, I could see why she was so hard pressed not to get it dirty.
She didn't want no cake on it. No cake on my dress. I'm wearing white. But overall, I thought it was like oil and water getting together for this already. They were already mad. She was already pissed off that she didn't get the point or give the point to Kyria, blah, 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 blah. And she also said, which really bothered me because it's called an improv comedy challenge, she did not want to defer from the script. It was all about the script in her head.
Right.
That's not fair.
No, I think that for an improv challenge like this, it is a good idea to have sort of like an outline.
Yeah.
To know what direction you're going to, but it's impossible to adhere to a script.
No,
you know what I mean?
Well, especially if you're the only one with a script in your head. I mean, improv is like anal. You have to be open to appreciate it.
And it hurts.
There you go. There you go.
A lot.
All right, our last pair is Kyria and Morgan McMichaels with this Rapture Chaos and Ghost makeup line. How did they do in your eyes, Plane?
I thought they did fairly well. For me,
So
honestly,
you hate Morgan?
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing.
And
That's what I'm hearing. Okay.
also, they did okay. For some reason, watching this one, I was like, okay, yeah, I thought this was definitely better than the train wreck that was Mystique and Lucky.
Yeah.
I thought that, I didn't even notice that Kyria wasn't looking at the camera.
Oh, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I mean, but I also have a lazy eye, so it's one of those things.
Maybe she does too.
Maybe.
Maybe that's how she was keeping one eye on the camera and one eye on Morgan. But
It's the thing to do.
I was more interested in this like new pit crew guy. Also,
Let's take a second to talk about him. What are your thoughts on the new pit crew guy?
sexy.
Oh, it was called Boo Crew. I think it was a Boo Crew for this.
And I wonder if those like male screams or moans were his doing.
Okay.
I like to think that they were.
Okay, why don't you talk to the camera and pretend you're talking to Mr. Boo Crew and tell him how you feel about it.
Mr. Boo Crew, you can be my boo. And, you know, I can make you scream just like that all day long. You know?
I've got to say, after seeing the last skit, this one actually was trying to sell a product. So I have to say, kudos to Akira and Morgan. They were both really trying to sell the product. I thought Morgan did a really good job of explaining her product and what it was used for and how it can help your face. And when she lifted that wig and you saw her real skin, I thought, you know what?
I thought that was very brave.
Sold me. Sold me. Brave.
Very brave of her.
Brave. The queens are getting ready for the runway, and if you notice, Mystique is giving Lucky some notes, bitch. She's sitting there telling her, well, you did this, and you strayed from the script, and you were eating cake, blah, 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 blah. This is not the time to discuss what's done. What's done is done. You should have had that conversation before you actually did the skit, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, from what I remember, I think Lucky came up to Mystique and said she didn't appreciate Mystique's like attitude towards her during the sketch or whatever. Which I can understand, because it did look like they were clashing during the thing and it was uncomfortable to watch. But yeah, Mystique immediately gets defensive and is like, no, I wasn't the problem, you were the problem. I mean, they were both kind of the problem, to be honest.
Well, I think working together didn't help each other, but blaming one or the other is an issue.
Yeah, the attitude from Mystique is kind of piss poor. But it's also kind of fierce. It's also kind of fierce. Like, if somebody comes to me and tries to tell me that they didn't like something that I was doing, I would not give them an inch, honey, just like Mystique. I'd be like, no, you up. Get the out of my face.
Okay, that's your strategy.
So,
all right.
So yeah, I feel like I can relate and resonate with Mystique's, you know, sentiments in the situation, because I would share them if I was in her shoes.
All right, Plane, let's chat about these runway looks. Category is Paris, France. First up, Dawn. I gotta say, I like the look. I didn't know what to expect when I think of Paris. I don't think of rats, but I went, oh yeah, Ratatouille kind of a situation. I think it's cute. I think it's well executed. I like her makeup for this. It was a pleasant surprise. What do you think of Dawn's look?
I think she looks great.
I am not believing you. The delayed response, the and the great. That's something you tell your friend that's sober as they're relapsing.
Well, I know.
But this is a good look. See, I can do this. Listen,
You've had many friends like
that.
that.
No, be a better person and take a moment and go, you know what? I may not like you, but I'm gonna give you props for the look.
I just don't appreciate this narrative that you
Me?
are trying to push on me.
I am not pushing anything on you.
You are a needle pusher and you're a narrative pusher. Okay?
Not at all. It is well documented that you hate Dawn.
I do not. I love dongs.
Dongs. Oh, is that the correct pronunciation?
That's the correct pronunciation. Dongs.
Okay.
I love dongs.
Okay, take away your hate for the bitch. Do you like the look?
I love the look.
You are the worst! Next we have Morphine. What do you think of Morphine's look?
Honestly, this is in contention for my favorite look of the night.
It's actually beautiful. I have to say, it's the best thing she has worn this whole season.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, love it.
I love that she did prosthetic work for this on her face. The candelabra on her head, it's a little crooked. I don't know if that was intentional or if, knowing Morphine, she probably just tossed it in a suitcase. I want to give a shout out to another one of my season 16 sisters, Q, who I know made this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now that I'm looking at it, though, from a distance, it's hard to tell that those are skulls. It looks like she's smuggling onions. But I think it still is a great look. Next, we have Lucky Stars.
So she comes out, and immediately I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
But I think that I was only gagged because it's so big, it's so grand and massive.
But you know, this is her style. This is her type of thing that she does.
Like if I take a closer look at the details, I'm like, okay, the corset is kind of like bulky. You know what I mean? It's kind of hanging off her body a little bit. But this is still cool. This is a cool look, and I'm finding myself appreciating this kind of drag.
I am too. I'm glad to see it on the runway, and I usually find it impressive. First of all, if it strikes me as something really great, the first thing I think of, how did that bitch pack it? How
Right.
did she get it here? Like,
Oh, yeah.
what type of case box do you put that in to get it there? I think it's fun. I think it gives museum. I think it gives artwork. I think it gives postcard. I think, wow, I couldn't think of that. I'm impressed by the sheer size and the creativity that went into it.
Totally.
Yeah, and I kind of have a soft spot for her. She's been really lovely this season. I've kind of really liked her more than I thought I would.
Okay, well, that's not what you told me earlier, but
No, what I told you
want to
earlier.
be fake for the camera. That's fine.
No. Be
Wanna be
honest
fake,
with the
that's
people.
fine, that's fine.
What I said to you while we were watching the episode was, if you're gonna touch my rub it faster. That's what I said.
And I said, Bianca, you should have cut your nails before you at me. Take them out.
Yeah, I'm the one with the knuckle. Thanks a lot. Next we have Mystique Summers.
I love the body.
Okay.
I'm a body girl.
We're starting with positive. Okay.
I'm a body girl, and I love her shape.
Okay.
I love a curvaceous MILF. And that's what she's giving me. As far as the look, especially in comparison to the first three that we just saw.
Right.
You know, grand, creative. This is none of those things.
Well, it's a tricky situation. She is losing out because everyone else, as you mentioned, is giving you, wow, you know, I've got a rat, I'm
Right.
Phantom of the Opera, I'm a postcard in a museum. Yeah, this is kind of lacking.
I can't say that I just hate it, because there is something about this that I appreciate. Like,
Well, it is fixable. It is fixable. Maybe if the lining went all the way down, it would be helpful.
Right.
I like the necklace. I think it's a great color. I thought her face looked gorgeous. I'm not sure, but in my opinion, that could be Morgan's wig from episode 1.
Oh.
Throwing it out there. Throwing it out there. Next, we have Akira C. Davenport giving us Josephine Baker.
okay, this I kind of gagged.
I live.
This I kind of gagged.
Yes, I think this is creative. I think this is great. I mean, Akira is a look queen. She can turn it. She can make it in 5 minutes. I love everything about it.
The one thing that threw me off is the titties.
Oh.
They're a little small and up. They need to be, do you see my supple breasts? And you can pan down if you want to. Take a look at these. You see how they're naturally kind of splayed apart a little bit? And they're, you know, proportionate to the rest of my body. I feel like, Akira, you've been in the game for long enough, Miss Ma'am. You should have got better tits for this.
Well, you know, let me go back to your tits for a minute, because what I find amazing about the breasts that you're wearing right now, and I'm hearing everything you're saying, is that you are really all about detail. The fact that you have that hair coming out of that nipple,
Yeah.
it's really, really so lifelike.
Thank you so much. I go for realism.
Yeah, that's it.
And realness.
And finally, we have Morgan McMichaels. Here is Joan of Arc. And of course, we both sat there puzzled when she came out. We're like, what is all that silverware stuck to her? But I knew immediately. The Joan of Arc silverware line.
Knew immediately, mind you.
We all did. We all Googled it. Like, what the f? But yes,
Yeah.
here is Joan of Arc. It's a clever idea. A clever look.
Yeah.
I personally knew Joan, so I go, you know, I get it.
What did you think of her face, her mug?
Well, that's where the problem comes in. Two things, and it's the base things. I thought that the leotard, unitard main piece, I wasn't happy with the gray that's underneath the silverware. I kind of wanted something a little more dimensional, maybe something a little more textured, maybe a brocade.
Bianca, her face.
Well, I'm gonna get to it. I was moving from brocade, the other featured fabric, and then we get to her face. I thought it looks, correct me if I'm wrong, like David Bowie as Joan of Arc.
I could see it.
That I see. Being nitpicky, the leotard situation I thought could just be a better fabric. It was just a little too flat for me.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Honestly,
flat wear, get it?
Ooh.
The judges had thoughts. They were buying some of these Home Spooky Network performances, especially Dawn and Morgan. Morgan's performance, do you think it was top of the week?
Morgan didn't do bad. I thought that the top two should have been Dawn and Morphine for this episode.
Let me ask you, because it seems like you're struggling with giving Dawn a compliment right now. Is it really bothering you that Dawn is doing so well?
It's not bothering me at all, Bianca.
Can you say that with your eyes open and look at me when you say it?
No.
Moving on. It's time for Morgan and Dawn to lip sync to Zombie Boy by Lady Gaga. And I gotta say, this is my favorite song from the Mayhem album. Who's turning it for you in this performance right now?
Neither of them.
What you? Okay.
I think that Morgan definitely started off stronger.
She started out stronger, yeah.
Throughout the performance, what Morgan was doing was getting kind of one note.
Well, there are two different types of performers, okay? And we've seen these two lip sync with each other once before, and Morgan beat Dawn in that original.
I think that Dawn is pacing it better than Morgan.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Dawn started out very slow and monotonous and boring, as we expect from her as a performer. Then she kind of starts being a little more sexy, a little bit more chaotic, flipping her hair, which
like a vixen.
Like a Brixton, honey.
Yeah.
You know, she's definitely giving it. And then what really took me out, I will say though, was for the final beat of the song, Dawn falls to the floor and her wig flips forward and that kitchen, honey, is just out. And I thought that was her best reveal of the lip sync.
Okay.
Because that truly made me laugh and cackle, and I think that's what took it home for her.
Okay. I mean, I just gotta ask you this. It sounds like you hate her entire performance. So let me just talk about the look. What did you think about her look?
I was just so complimentary about it.
What did you think about Dawn's
I
look?
literally just complimented Dawn out the ass. I think that Dawn started out very slow and monotonous and boring. I have no more praise to give to her.
Okay, let me ask you this. Would she have been better if she was wearing a boring, sparkly dress?
It would have been better if she was not cast, yes. But here we are, Bianca. Was that what you asked? I'm sorry.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
All right, Ru has made her decision, and Dawn wins her first lip sync challenge, which is giving her 3 points and a cash tip of $10,000. Doulas. Yes. Ru calls the bottom queens to the front of the stage to give them their MBQ points away, and they have to do this right on stage. And before we actually chat about what took place, Miss Plain, I have to ask you, if this were you, what kind of would you be doing with these other queens?
See, I would not be having points to give away because I would be in the top and I would win every challenge and I would like slay and like win and like
Okay, but let's just deal with this universe that we're living in right now, not the one in your head.
But it's a hypothetical that I don't even want to entertain, Bianca. Yeah.
Now, your thoughts on Akira giving her point to Morgan.
Akira gave her point to Morgan, and
Yes.
Morgan gave her point to Akira. That's very sweet. I love somebody who reciprocates.
Well, I don't take it so much as an alliance between the two of them. I actually think it's a genuine respect and sisterly approach. That's how I felt about it. I thought they didn't have to do it, but they did, and I thought that was good. I took it less as, we're on the same team, and we gotta make sure we go out. You know, I thought they both did well, and I thought they were both deserving of the points.
It was very like elderly of them, for sure. And I think that's why you can relate.
Because they're getting right with Jesus. I already told you. Well, bracket number 1 has come to an end, and Dawn has the most points, landing her a spot in the semifinals, while Morgan and Akira are tied for 2nd place. What are your thoughts on this tie?
Love it.
Yeah, it's kind of magical that they're both tied and they both gave their points to each other. I thought, ooh. But then Ru surprises us.
Mama Ru, my shoe.
There's her. She says, I'm gonna choose and make it a tiebreaker. Now, Ru makes the tie-breaking decision, and Akira is also moving on to the semifinals. Yes, congratulations, Akira. Congratulations. I can't wait to see more of the looks that are coming that way. And sadly, Morgan is left out of the top spot, but there is a chance that a queen can come back later in the game. Do you think Morgan stands a chance to come back?
Absolutely not.
She had a pretty good track record.
Okay, you're right. I changed my mind. She absolutely does.
See, that's it.
Wait, I'm just kidding. I changed it again.
Okay.
She doesn't.
Okay.
But unless she does, which would be very unlikely, unless it happens.
Got you. You know what? I am so glad you clarified that. Well, Plain, thank you for joining us for another episode of The Pit Stop, the only official recap show for RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 11. And before you go, out of the next 2 brackets, who are you most excited to see?
Vivacious.
Oh, Vivacious. I'm excited.
Yes.
Yes. She's from Season 6. I do adore Vivacious. I hope she brings Ornacia.
Something tells me the Ornacias are going to be like raining from her costumes.
I'm excited to see the madness. I really am. All right, Jane, we're towards the end of this now. Is there anything you would like to plug?
I do a podcast now, so that's sickening.
Yeah, tell us. Where can that? Talk to the camera.
Honey, it's Fish. Let me tell you. It's on YouTube, and it's on other platforms as well, I'm sure. Somebody has that covered. But it's fierce, honey, it's fierce. And I also, I'm available, like, if you want to, like, shoot, like, me, like, an email, like, I do birthday parties, but...
What is the name? What is the name of your podcast?
It's called Kudos for Spilling.
Kudos for Spilling. And they can find it on YouTube and other platforms as well.
Yes, and YouTube and other platforms.
Yes, okay. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Bianca Del Rio, and I will see you next week to unpack a brand new bracket of queens. And with a guest who might actually be more chaotic than Jujubee. Bye, bitch! See you next time! Now, I asked you at the top of the show if you could spell vernacular. Wanna try?
Sure. Vernacular. VARDCQPRIAMAWHORE. Vernacular.
I gotta tell you, I don't know if that's the correct spelling or seeing eye chart, but that was impeccable. That was impeccable. You know what it was? Your conviction to it. You commit and should be committed.
Yes! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm killing it. I'm killing it here on the pit stop, you guys. I should host.
No, you're killing it right into the ground.
Hey there, it's Michelle Visage. Do you say yay for gay? Well then join me and subscribe to RuPaul's Drag Race YouTube channel.